All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where Errol Spence Jr. makes his first public appearance and looks huge in a video that came out where he was talking to some Hebrew Israelites. Also, Terrence Crawford trainer puts the blame on Derrick James, Errol Spence Jr.'s trainer, for any perceived weight draining that was going on with Errol Spence Jr. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where we're going to give you an update on Errol Spence Jr. and also some things that were said recently by Terrence Crawford's trainer, Brian McIntyre, which directly relate to the observations that were made about Errol Spence when he showed up in the public looking very, very big. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does make a big, big difference to the channel. So thank you to everybody that supports the channel. All right, so let's get into this. First and foremost, people are asking me about what I thought about Errol Spence Jr.'s first appearance in public in Dallas, at least with him speaking, where you can hear him speaking, when he was getting out of his car and approached by a group of young men who were, from all things that could be observed, what you would refer to as a Hebrew Israelite, and he held a conversation with them. So people wanted to know what I thought about that. And the first thing that I thought about it was what Abel Sanchez has also recently said about the Errol Spence Jr. Terrence Crawford fight. Now, Abel Sanchez is the former trainer of Gennady Golovkin, a very well-known trainer in the sport of boxing, who has consistently made observations and repeated the same observation about Errol Spence Jr. before the fight with Terrence Crawford. He specifically said in the weigh-in that Errol Spence Jr. looked like, not at the weigh-in, but in the, I think maybe the press conference or the workout before, that Errol Spence looked like a skeleton, looked like he had really drained a lot of weight, and how he really did not like the look in the eye of Errol Spence Jr. during those press conferences, and how he felt that Errol had really gotten down to a skeleton before the fight took place, and that he would need to have been a 100% to be able to compete effectively with Terrence Crawford. Not taking anything away from Terrence Crawford, but just making an observation about what he saw with Errol Spence Jr. Now, what do I think as far as the conversation with that Errol had and what I saw? People wanted me to give me my opinion about what was said between the group of people, the group of young men, and Errol Spence. I don't really want to get into that other than to say, without a doubt, I do believe that if anything is given to you by the Almighty, you're going to get it. And there's nothing that anybody's going to be able to do to prevent you from having that success when the Almighty is on your side. That is what I will say about that. But people kept asking me about it, and that's about the most in-depth I'm willing to get on it. However, I will make an observation about how Errol Spence Jr. looked. And he looked big. He looked fat. He just looked big. Now, clearly he had weight on him, right? Clearly he had some weight on him. He had some more water weight on him. His face was a little bit more full. But if you look at his back, you look at his shoulders, you look at the weight from the angle that you could see, man, he looked a lot bigger than he did in that fight ahead of time. And judging what he says about walking around at, 170 pounds, because my understanding is that before the fight, he was weighing around at 170 pounds. So getting down to 147, and he doesn't really have a lot of fat on him to begin with, even at 170 pounds. He doesn't have a lot of fat on him. And by that, I mean the type of weight, like say that I have on me, where if I get rid of 22 pounds, 30 pounds, I'm all the better for it. But when you are, not necessarily a person that's fat, that type of weight coming off you can cause real problems. And so I think that he will probably be much better suited for 154 or 160 pounds. However, that's not saying that he'll beat Terrence Crawford because of that. Just saying that if he is physically a little bit better or a lot better, that's what it's going to take for him to be able to compete effectively. And I would not doubt that type of situation can have effect on fighters. Anybody that says that it can't have an effect on a fighter is just lying. And this is confirmed by the statement of Brian McIntyre, who said that everybody has to make the same weight. So if Errol had a hard time making the weight, he blames that is on his trainer for not, we all both had the same amount of time to get down to weight. That's on his trainer for not being able to get him down to weight if that did affect him. Now, here's my thing. I don't think necessarily that is just on the trainer. I think that it is on that entire camp. If they could not make the weight and they desired to have a fight with Terrence Crawford at that weight, they could have had the original fight for no belts on the line at 154 against Terrence Crawford, and the fight would have been just as big, in my opinion. And if he wanted to stay down in that weight, that is his decision to do so. At the same time, when you have a fight and you don't fight for 15 months, and you already know as of 15, 16 months before that, you shouldn't be at that weight class, but you try to stay close to making weight and stay in that zone for another 15 months. I don't doubt at all that Terrence Crawford's camp knew that and had in their mind a little bit that could be the case, because that was in the case that everybody knew that was the case with it, period. But if Errol wants to fight for undisputed, that's not Derek James' fault for him want to stay at 154. That's not Derek James' job to tell him how long to stay at a weight class. And at a certain point in time, if you're too big for a weight class, you're just too big for a weight class. And from what I can see of Errol Spence Jr., when he was talking to those guys about listening to them, he probably doesn't belong at that weight class anymore. I do believe he's been in 147 or around that weight class for going on 10 years now. And he had to come down a little bit from 140 to 150 to 147 to get there. That's a long time. That's a long time at a weight class. However, when I saw him in this particular public appearance, yeah, dude looked really, really big, looked really big. And I don't think that there's any real way that you can get around that. But anyway, the rematch is made. We'll see what happens. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.